Yes, my brother then. Yes, my sister then. Hello, Ambazonians. Hello, Ambazonians. Shu Eno. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, Shu. Adisaloro. Hello, Ambazonians. Oh, Akawom. Good afternoon, comrade. Good afternoon, my friend. Good afternoon, my brother. Shu. Yandong. Our black people's coach. The most amazing girl. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Ambazonians. Good afternoon, Ambazonians. Yes, Betatori Day, as always. Magnus. Good afternoon, comrade. Yes. Afternoon, Ayando. All right, Ambazonians. We're gonna go ahead, wanna share the video, invite your friends. Betatori Day. Oh, Ophelia. Ophelia. Good afternoon. Uncle P. Uncle P. Good afternoon, our great comrade. All the Uncle P from Germany. Greetings to you, sir. Ha! Nyamfuka. Greetings. Please just go ahead, share and invite your friends. Let's get started, please. Share and invite your friends. Kelvin, good afternoon, sir. Renee, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. Good afternoon. Betatori Day. So share and invite your friends. Betatori Day. We're gonna share and invite your friends. Good afternoon, Ambazonians. May we move our revolution forward. Rodriguez, good afternoon to you. Please just go and share and invite your friends to join us. We're going to start in exactly 1 minute. We have no time to waste. We have a lot to talk about. We must move our revolution forward. We must be free. We can be free. Fidel, good afternoon. Fidel Chico. All right, Ambazonians, go ahead and share. We have 45 seconds to go before we get started. Go ahead and share. I want to salute all man, my brother them, my sister them. Whether you did for Bakassi, or you did for on top mountain for Akwaya, or you did for Akwaya rice field. Whether you did for Kembong, or you did inside bush for Kendem, or you did for Abakwa City, or you did for Jakiri, or you did on top Mount Fako of the eternal capital of Ambazonia, or you did for refugee camp for Nigeria. Whether you did for Beijing, China, or you did for Pretoria, South Africa. I want to salute all man. And I want to welcome you now. My brother them, my sister them, my papa them, my mommy them. I want to thank you plenty. For this time when I don't take them for join me for this story for move our revolution forward. So I want to salute you now. Before we start, make all man just share and invite your friends. We'll get Betatori. When I know saying that my platform of leadership, a platform of inspiration, a platform of education, encouragement, and support for move our revolution forward. A platform of leadership, right? So we're gonna go ahead, share and invite your friends. Let's the journey begin. Before we start, as always, we must honor our nation. We must honor who we be. We must honor our anthem. As you know, I don't practice my anthem very well. And so now, I know say, when I follow me, when I feel follow me sing them. So, follow me sing the Ambazonian anthem. Hail, hail, hail this land of glory. We the Ambazonia, we pledge our loyalty. Praise the Son, our Savior, who granted us the freedom. Allegiance to the heroes who bore the land with their blood. Glory to the glory, we rise and never to fall. Here in a nation flowing with milk and honey. Glory, glory, glory to the Father for making you a nation, a joy forevermore. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our needs. And your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God be the watchman of this nation. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our needs. And your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God be the watchman of this nation. Good afternoon, my brother them. Good afternoon, my sister them. Good afternoon, what papa them. What mommy them. I want to salute all una. For the time when I don't take them for join me for this live broadcast. For say make we get conversation. For inspire each other. For encourage each other. For move our revolution forward and become a free people. So at time kuna plenty. When I just take 1 or 2 seconds, when I share this video and invite your friends. If you want to get this kind of conversation, not only for this platform, nowhere else. The place where you get the most inspiring, educative, and practical leadership for how to move our revolution forward. So I'll be very honored for our time. Let's get started. As you know, I like to tell redemption song. Welcome. I like to tell stories. The first thing we're going to talk about today, before I want to do I'm going to tell you some stories. The first thing we're going to talk about, leadership, the power to create or the power to destroy. When this revolution started, and when Paul Biya decided to launch war against the people of Southern Cameroons, even before then, on the 1st of October, when they declared the restoration of independence, when were people that come out for streets from every village, every town, every city, every neighborhood, with their peace plans. Paul Biya, the devilish and shithead president of La République du Cameroun, is sent a military them. For go for Akwaya, for go for all places for Southern Cameroons, all over the territory of Southern Cameroons. But what they do for Akwaya, we think it's one of the most catastrophic incidents where it happened, because Akwaya be so cut off from everything else. So what happened, I say, as the military, they shoot, they kill. So one woman, they don't carry it 2 pig in them, hold on. And so all them they shake. Anyone notice I'm saying, they say, they don't kill a sister, a man. As a sister, a man, no say, as a sister, a man want look and say they don't kill a man. As a sister, a man realize and say, a man don't die. that shock, that heart attack, it make that sister too, his sister die for that place. His sister too beget the own two picking them. That woman, with all these shootings, notice and say his sister man don't die. Notice and say his sister don't die. With all this shooting, he go through the shooting, carry his sister he own picking them, join her with his own two picking them. He run, enter inside bush. They work for days. So till they reach for Amana, for Nigeria. So, that's leadership. That woman, that courageous Ambazonian woman, where even with the shootings where they take place, it run through, it take courage, it run through, for save that two picking them, so that may they not kill them. Why? Why? Why that woman go put her own life on the line? We know say, they say, the feet even shooty. Why that woman put her life on the line? For go save these two picking them. Why? And the question that one week you ask yourself. Why that woman go through all of that, risk her own life, for go save that two picking them? Why? Stay there with that question. I want me to ask that question. Why that woman do it? Why that woman take that kind of risk? Why? I want me to hold on to that question. Make I give you a contrast. For February from Nguti, when La République military, they enter Nguti. When they enter Nguti, they start for kill from Nguti. A military personnel broke some house. You see some big mommy one. Decide for rape that big mommy. So till that big mommy collapse. And so blood, they come out, scatter everywhere. You know, and so it drag that big mommy can't run for front door. Would that big mommy still bleed? Some small boy about between 12 to 15 years old, he don't see what it don't happen. Why big mommy the throwing a blood and big mommy the unconscious? The small boy come out, maybe he can't take video. They take a phone, scatter them for ground. One of the same La République military, he go carry bucket water, he can't throw him for scatter that blood, make people not see the blood. Why one person he take his own life for sacrifice and for save two picking them, and another person they destroy big mommy life? The kind big mommy where if he be his own big mommy, it go scatter that big mommy life. Why? Why human beings are almost the same situation that display such contrasting behaviors? Why? Leadership, the power to create or the power to destroy. Both of these two, that woman for acquire, where he enter inside military shooting for go save that two picking them, it display a leadership. This other one, it take leadership for create. This other one take leadership for destroy. Same circumstances, two contrastive behaviors. Why? Leadership, the power to create, the power to destroy. When Nelson Mandela finally come out for prison, when I know all this story, and he succeed for win the election and became the first democratically elected president for South Africa. Now remember, he meet up de Klerk. He said, de Klerk, join me. Make we unify this country. Make we heal this country. Make we build this country. The future of this country together. But remember, now the same de Klerk put Mandela for prison. Now the same de Klerk kill Africans and intensify appetite for South Africa. Wait till make Nelson Mandela ask de Klerk for helping unify the country, heal the country, and create the future of the country and move the country forward. Wait till make Nelson Mandela put that kind of systems in place for South Africa. For say the future of South Africa will be such an inclusive future so that people will get equal opportunity for move their own lives forward. And for create such an open society. Wait till make Nelson Mandela only stay for power one term. Even when he don't stay for prison for 27 years. We believe say they say Nelson Mandela now he don't succeed, he get right for stay in power for a lifetime. Even if he decide to be a lifetime president. But why Nelson Mandela only choose for stay for power one term? Make we contrast this with La République du Cameroon. Paul Biya succeed for take over power for Cameroon. Make himself a president of a lifetime. After 36 years. Remember, Nelson Mandela only stayed in power for 5 years. What is the difference between South Africa, when Nelson Mandela take over less than 25 years ago, and La République du Cameroon today, where Paul Biya take over 36 years ago? What is the difference between those two nations? What is the difference? Leadership. The power to destroy. The power to create or the power to destroy. One person, it come in for power, for build humanity, for build a country, for elevate the people, for provide a people where they don't go through this kind of system, where would they go through right now? Occupation, appetite. For give the people them a better life. How much will be Nelson Mandela's salary? How much? Per month. How much he accumulate them? Which be the legacy when Nelson Mandela live on? Leadership, the power to destroy, the power to create, or the power to destroy. One person, the president of La République du Cameroon, he don't destroy the whole country. His salary, Paul Biya's salary is $600,000 a year. Hear me out. Paul Biya's salary now $600,000 a year. That's right. Leadership, the power to create, the power to destroy. Now, which kind of leadership? Since this revolution started, you know the people that they show leadership which is meant to create. And you know the people that they show leadership which is meant to destroy. Right? You know the people there that they show leadership where it will create the future. It will help we move our revolution forward. And you know the leaders where they use this revolution, destroy the people. The elites of Southern Cameroons. Now leadership to destroy for 36 years or 56 years. Those elites, now then they don't help for approved occupation. For destroy the people. So now everybody ask them, now which kind of leader you be? You be a leader for create or you be a leader for destroy? Now the question is, I want to make you start for ask them. I want to make you start for think. I be tell you say story day, would you come? Start for think. The leaders them where you did approve them. Where you did look up to them as leaders. Now leaders the way they unify. Or now leaders the way they create division. Now leaders the way they inspire. Or now leaders the way they discourage. The leaders them way would they accept them as leaders? Are they creating or destroying? Now which kind of leadership the people of Ambazonia they tolerate? Now which kind of leadership the people of Ambazonia they tolerate? What is our standard of leadership? Leadership, the power to create or the power to destroy. That one is just introduction. Number 2, how, please, before we move on to number 2, I want to make all man just share this video. Share this video. Share them. Share them. Because you fit only get this conversation only for this platform. Nowhere else. So share the video. Share the video. Move on to number 2. We need people to listen to this. Invite your leaders them. May they can listen for this. We must move our revolution forward. We must educate ourselves. We must empower ourselves. We must inspire ourselves. We must encourage ourselves. We must hold ourselves to high standards. Leadership. Yes. Make we get the Tory for move our revolution forward. But that Tory day, make we move the revolution forward. So share them, invite your friends. Number 2, how great leaders became great leaders. Lessons from Mancho BBC and Penn Terence. Yes, Penn Terence. You sabi say, when this revolution start for hot, and Mancho decide for rally people then, for inside Bamenda, for rally people then, what he do? He do something extraordinary. Why? At such a young age, it get that kind of passion. It get that kind of intensity. It be so full of caring for the future of the Ambazonian people. Why? At such an age. What you feel learn from Mancho, from Penn Terence. When Mancho want come, he not just come for can't talk with people then. He come for prepare the people then, so the time don't reach. Either we stand, we speak the truth about how we came together and end the injustice and the suffering where the people don't go through and the oppression where we don't go through. Or the bury, it bring your own coffin. Lessons of leadership. Yesterday, Tuesday, April 10th, 2017 and 18 rather. Inside La République, inside La République capital, Yaoundé, Penn Terence, the accused, they don't bring it for court, for pass a sentence, for pass a judgment. He asked, he prepared this document. He hold on. He said, I know say, today, if it be my last day on earth, maybe this moment, now the last moment I feel take my breath. Before when I read when I sentence, I want to read something where I write them for una. So we will read which Penn Terence write them for the court of La République de Cameroon. Statement from Penn Terence, accused, Yaoundé Central Prison, Kondegi. Now he addressed that. April 10th, 2018 to the President and Government Commissioner, Military Tribunal, Yaoundé, La République du Cameroon. Dear Madam President and Government Commissioner, which is prosecutor of this tribunal, as this process draws to an end, I think it's time for me to give you my final word before you pass your long-awaited judgment, before your verdict. I wish to remark, please pay close attention. This is just extraordinary. Pay attention. The adoption, incarceration, and trial that I have been subjected to before this tribunal is political and challenges the foundational basis of this country, Cameroon. 2. The trials of civilians by military tribunals contravene the right to a fair trial by a competent, independent, and impartial court. Not being a member of the army or the owner of any military weapon, this trial has violated all my rights as guaranteed by the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, the United Nations International Convention on Civil and Political Rights, the African Commission on Human and People's Rights, and even the fundamental rights to a fair trial as laid down in the preamble of the 1996 Constitution of the Republic of Cameroon. Pay attention, people. Pay attention. Number 3, I wish to emphasize that this trial has been illegal from the start. How else do you explain the fact that I was illegally abducted in Bamenda since January 16, 2017 for act allegedly committed? But you put on trial before a military tribunal in Yaoundé instead of Bamenda? Question mark. How do you explain the fact that throughout the trial, this court has shamelessly acted as prosecutor and the judge at the same time? No fair-minded person can expect justice from this type of charade trial. The Anglo-Saxon system of criminal justice that is supposed to be applied in the English-speaking northwest and southwest regions of this country demands that justice is not only done, but must be seen to be done. Those principles for which I am prepared, and if need be, for me to pay the ultimate price. Number 4, the charges against my person have all been trumped up charges, with the court presenting no proof to any of the charges. The reason being they do not exist. I'm neither a terrorist nor a secessionist, but the political nature of the trial makes it possible for the court to slam the guilty verdict on me. If the term or word terrorism is attributed to the people and individuals who decry social injustice and inequality, then find me guilty again, because these are the reasons for which I stand for before you today. Where is the justice we seek? Number 5, no tribunal, including the one over which you preside, can solve the Anglophone problem in this country because it is political. It requires more of a political will than the court cases to see it through. This is why both the United Nations, the African Union, and other international bodies or organizations have consistently advised the government of this country to address the root causes. If she wants to resolve the political imbroglio facing the country. Wow, that's a very powerful legal term. Number 6, Madam President, no terrorist is a peace-loving person. I too, and a few of my brothers locked up today, have tried in our modest and humble ways, proposed several solutions-oriented projects to the top government officials on how to appease the aggrieved population. We have met and written to the prosecutor on the need for a peaceful solutions to the crisis. The urgent need for the executive branch that controls this trial remotely to seek ways of engaging the marginalized population in much awaited dialogue so as to settle the Anglophone marginalization question once and for all. But it seems all cries have fallen on deaf ears. Dialogue is the best cure for the crisis rocking Cameroon today. Dialogue averted war in 1993, and it can still do that today. Number 7, Your Honor, the so-called Cameroon Anglophone problem is specific. It has nothing to do with developmental problem plaguing Cameroon as a whole. It is about the lack of institutional protection for the English-speaking minorities, the cultural assimilation of the people and her identity. It is about the ongoing cultural genocide against the English-speaking minorities. Number 8, I hope this message will be passed through you to the system you represent. Those that seek to kill the cause of justice and equality for which I stand. Cameroon is a state of law and can do better than this. Thank you, Madam President and the prosecutor of the Yaoundé Military Tribunal for giving me the opportunity to make these remarks. That's from Pen Terence, our leader. He stood up. He was in the lion's den. Even when he knew that could be his last moment. Even when he knew they could give him a death sentence. Pen Terence never stopped fighting for the people of Ambazonia. Pen Terence never stopped speaking out for the people. Pen Terence never stopped fighting for injustice and equality and equity and freedom for the people of Ambazonia. Even when Pen Terence knew that could be his last moment to life, Pen Terence addressed the government of La République du Cameroun. Pen Terence took the moment to remind them that everything has been a charade. Pen Terence was not shy to tell them that his arrest, which is kidnapping, was illegal. His detention was illegal. And the judgment was illegal. Pen Terence, that's leadership. That's leadership, my people. That's leadership. Even the moment where it was almost like Christ when he was being crucified, he never stopped to do what he was meant to do. That's leadership. I have a question for everyone. Since yesterday's sentencing of Pen Terence, which of your leaders, which of our leaders has taken on to the airwaves to challenge the sentencing? To call on the international community to not only challenge the sentencing, but to fight for Pen Terence, the Mancho BBC, President Ayok Tabe Julius, Pata Sang, Pam Fongalanfo, the Elias de Ayambe, Patrick Dango. Which of your leaders have taken on the airwaves, have taken on the social media to challenge the constitutionality of the court case? Which of your leaders has call the United Nations, the United States, the U.S. State Department, the African Union. Which of your leaders has sent a message to La République since the sentencing? I leave you to think about that yourself. So what lessons, what leadership lessons can we learn from Mancho, BBC and Penn-Terence? What leadership lessons? The people of Ambazonia were in a revolution. You see, it is extraordinary when you get into that extraordinary place where life becomes something greater than yourself. Just like that woman in Akwaya who put herself on the line to save those 2 children and took her own 2, 4 of them flee to Nigeria to make sure that those kids are safe and can have a future and a life. And someday they could live to tell the story. And someday, Penn-Terence is only sentenced for 12 years. He was sentenced yesterday for 12 years imprisonment. So I want us to stop here. I want us to close our eyes and send a prayer to Penn-Terence. Close your eyes. I want you to send love and peace and strength and divine intervention to Penn-Terence. Our love, our hopes, our strength are with Penn and all our leaders. Number 3 item of my presentation is the 2 primary forces of leadership. We'll also use those 2 primary forces of leadership as checklist for our leaders and then to evaluate how they are performing. There are 2 forces in life. One is called virtue and the other one is called vice. So, let me ask you a question. Which one did the woman in Akwaya display in order for her to free those 2 children and save her own life and the lives of her own children? Did she display virtue or did she display vice? Which one? Type it. Which one? Just type it. Just type whatever you think. The woman in Akwaya, which I told you the story. Which of those 2 forces did she activated within herself that gave her the ability to succeed in getting those children out? Which of them? Did she display virtue or vice? Which one? Just go ahead and type. This will be very interesting. Go ahead, guys. Just type. Was it virtue or vice? Which one? You see, which of those 2 forces did the military personnel in Nguti activate within himself in order to do such a despicable act in Nguti? Which one? Was it virtue or vice? When a leader, it's preaching unity, living unity, going about the way he leads unity as a philosophy. Is that virtue or vice? When a leader is preaching division, is that virtue or vice? Inspiration, encouragement, love, support, empowerment, courage, faith, Those are all virtues. Hate, revenge, greed, those are all vices. So which of these two forces do we need in order to create the future? Which of them? If you look at Nelson Mandela, the reason Mandela became a symbol of hope and inspiration and unconditional universal love was because he embodied the essence of virtue. And the President of La République embodied the essence of vice. And that's why you see these two leaders, they've created two societies that have gone through two different directions. So the reason I want to have this conversation with you is, do we have virtuous leaders? Do we have leaders that have such visions and that are unifying the people? Let me first of all stop here and just define leadership for you. Leadership is the capacity for a leader to come up with a compelling vision and then, as a leader, to harness the people's energy, direct them for massive action to achieve specific measurable results. To do that, you need virtues. So, if you read the book, for any of you that have ever read the book, From Good to Great, the book is called From Good to Great. The other book is called Built to Last. It was a study, 100 years, a study that was, they did a research. They took the most successful company on the history of the planet, and they took some of the most iconic leaders on the planet. And some of these companies have existed for more than 100 years. And through time, these companies have been successful. They've been profitable. For a company to last 100 years, here's what they discovered. The most successful companies are companies that were built under very core value systems, which are called virtues. The companies were founded under a core value system that even after 100 years is still holding the foundation of that company very strong. Very strong. It's called Built to Last. So for you to build something that's enduring, when it comes to leadership, we have to define the value system within our structure of government. Transparency. That's a core key value, which if you implement in a government, will make the government last. Accountability. These are not things we are used to. That's why I'm having these conversations. This is not entertainment, people. You can apply this to your own life, and you see a dramatic shift in your own life. Dramatic. Take your organization. Take our interim government. Once you implement a value system like transparency, accountability, unity, purpose-driven, results-driven, team spirit, honesty. Once you apply this type of value system, even in your own life, even in your relationship, even in your marriage, you will see a radical change. So the reason we are not succeeding, the reason our government, our leaders have become somewhat of very toxic, and we don't even trust the so-called leaders anymore or the government anymore, it is because they are operating this side and this side. They have some virtues and they have a lot of vices. more vices than virtues. Are you guys getting me? Is this making sense? This is what we're talking about. The two forces, the two primary forces of leadership. Is your leadership, is the leadership we have now, is it an empowering leadership or disempowering leadership? Is this the kind of leadership that is empowering the people, inspiring the people, encouraging the people? Or it's a leadership that is causing the people to not trust the leadership? What kind of leadership we have? If we are not making progress, it's not the people. We have leadership that is not leading. To lead means to inspire, to encourage people, to harness the energy of the people, channel it for our common destiny. So that's why, first, the leader has to define the vision. Two, the leader has to come up with a compelling purpose. A purpose that is so strong, everybody wants to be part of that purpose. The vision is strong. The purpose is so compelling that everybody can smell the future, can taste the future, they can breathe, they can feel the future. Number three, the leader now communicates the vision, the purpose, that it becomes part of what the people breathe. It's what they talk about. It's what they think about. They go to bed thinking about it because it's so compelling. It is so magnificent. It is so obsessive. It is so attractive. It is so exciting that people want to become part of the vision. They want to be part of the purpose. Why? And then the leader must relate it to how the people's dreams and hopes are going to be met. That's how it's done. That's how it's done. Okay? That's why leadership has to be so close to the people. So close to the people. Vision, compelling purpose, and then you articulate, you communicate that vision in such a passionate way, in the way that the people are now part of that vision. Then you unify the people under that common purpose, harness their energies for massive action, massive donations to achieve the goal, which is to get to Buea, to create a government in Buea. It can be done very easily. But to do that, we need leaders that put the interest of the people of Ambazonia first. We need leaders that put the freedom of Southern Cameroons first. We need leaders that put the interest of the 100,000 people that are in Nigeria first. We need leaders that put the safety of the 6-point-something million people in Ambazonia first. First, above all else. That's the kind of leadership we need. We need a leader. That's all he talks about. That's all he dreams about. And his goal, pay attention to this. This is very important. The goal of that leader, once he's come up with a vision, the purpose, and he starts to communicate it, the goal is for the leader to be out there to engage in the donors, the funding, to get out, bring in, engaging people for the donation, for the action, for the work, mobilization. Once the vision is clear, the purpose is compelling and clear, the job of the leader now is to step out, look for a small group of people. In our case, in our revolution, the interim government is supposed to be not more than 10 people. These people, number one, they are very committed. Number two, they are passionate. Number three, they are accountable. Number four, they're very transparent. Number five, they are loyalty to the core. Loyalty to the vision. Loyalty to the mission. loyalty to the freedom. This is what it's needed. That's why you need those value systems to be very clear in the organization. Any company that I teach trainings in, any organization that I go to, the first thing I do a review, it's let's look at the model, the cultural model. What's the cultural model? Because I can walk into a family, I can know what their value systems are, I know why they're facing those challenges. So once you do this cultural shift, geez, things start to change. Now you set an expectation for which people have to live through or they get out. You set an expectation of performance. If they can't perform at that level, they're out. Because there is accountability to measure the performance. To measure the target of performance. Are these people living up to the expectation we've set? Are these people loyal to the mission? Are they committed to the results, to the freedom? Then, in our case, pay attention to this. This is very, very exciting now. Pay attention. Can you go ahead and share and invite your friends? Because we're getting to the core of this message. We're getting to the core of this message. The core of this, okay? So go ahead and share. Let me get a sip of water here. Go ahead and share, please. So, once the leader has done that, in our case, the leader has to step back, appoint his generals, the commanders, the people that said, I will be your general, I will be your commander, and put them in what we call a council. All right? What do? He said, what do you need? He doesn't give them, he tells them, what do you need? What do you need to get the job done? He sits with his 5 generals, listening. Please listen out. If you're the interim government, listen out. I don't know anything about, I am just coaching, okay? I am a coach. This is what I do. I'm just coaching. I'm giving free coaching here. Sit with these people, and he asks, what exactly do you need? What exactly do your boys need? What exactly does your team need in order to get the job done? And then he listens. If they tell him, sir, we need this, he says, what about you? Sir, I have X number of people. We need this to get the job done. What about you? We need this. He says, so okay. What is the national budget? In our case, what is the budget? He said, okay, we are in a revolution and now self-defense has become our most powerful weapon. So let's decide. Does the budget right now we have, whatever is coming in every month, we want to put 50% of that money into self-defense. Are you guys getting me? Pay attention very closely. We're going to put 60% into defense. We're going to put 70% into defense. We're going to put 10% into diplomacy. We're going to put 10% into helping the refugees. We're going to put 10% into our legal fund to solve all the legal matters we have, to defend our president and his team and all the other ones. And then we're going to put 10% for emergency purposes. Are you guys getting me? So that now becomes very clear. So that whatever comes in at the end of the month, they know 50, 40, 60%, it's meant for self-defense operations. There is no question about it. That's how you have predictability, people. Not today, people don't know what you're going to give them. Listen to what the people, your generals, tells you they want. Don't say, oh, here, take this. Provide them with what they want. I'm just being very generic here. I don't want people to take this very personal, as if I'm taking all the info, I'm revealing the plans of the interim government. I don't work for the interim government. I'm just doing coaching as a strategist. This is how these things are done. The people, we must give the people what they need to get the job done, because the vision is clear. The purpose is compelling. Very specific. Now, you get the core people that are willing to carry out those missions, that are willing to do the work. And then the president and his team, they step out. All they do, engaging the people to stay committed, engaging the people to stay motivated, engaging the people to stay supportive, building unity, building consensus, solving social problems that comes up between this group and that groups, neutralize it by building momentum, building consensus, building unity, and then channeling the people's energy into massive action. This is how these things are done. There is a science to success. There is a science to achievement. Look at any U.S. military operations. It's not done randomly. They sit with the president and they say, Mr. President, this is what we need to execute that mission. These are the resources we need. The president does not dictate to them, oh, you need these resources. No, they are the people on the ground. They know what they need. They know what they need. So the president now gets out, gathering resources, right? Inspiring people to donate, to stay the course. And then they begin to show results. The people start to see results. The more results people see, the more people donate. Hear me out. The more results people see that this leader that we trust, this visionary leader, the dream is coming true, people start to donate even more. Some people will even take part-time jobs to keep donating. But if people are not seeing results, here, listen to me. I do this for companies. When people are not seeing results, they stop donating. When people are not seeing results, they become very discouraged. When the president is not engaging people and telling them and showing results that things are working out, people have eyes. They can see that things are working out. Constant engaging, constant engagement, constant contact. That's right. Constant contact between the people and the leader, so that the people continue to support the leader. The people will not be supporting the leader if they are not seeing results. Results is the name of the game. Results is the name of the game. So I hope this segment is very clear. I hope this segment is very clear, because you can only get those conversations here, this platform, nowhere else. Are your leaders results driven? Are your leaders results driven? For us to get to Buoya, we must be very results focused. We can't do this haphazardly. We must be very results focused. What is the vision? Buoya. What is the purpose? What is the compelling purpose? Freedom and liberation of the people. What do we need to get there? Number one, primarily self-defense. Number two, strategic diplomacy. Number three, strategic alliance or collaborations with all nationalist movements. It's the responsibility of the primary organization called the interim government to break barriers and bring all these leaders together. Nelson Mandela did that in South Africa. So we can do it. We can unify forces and create that consensus and collaboration. It can happen very fast. But the leader has to have the will, which is much more important. When the leader put the interest of the people above the internal politics, that leader will succeed. So this is for the interim government and also for all frontline organizations. The interest of the people of Ambazonia must come first. So let's applaud our comrade, Eugene of the AGC I think it's Foreign Policy Department, who yesterday did an extraordinary presentation at the United Nations Human Rights Council. I heard, from what I read, the guy is so charismatic, he's so brilliant that the La République team that's supposed to present after him, you know, he was so charismatic, brilliant, and articulate that they ran away. You see, when Eugene was presenting, he was presenting on behalf of the people of Southern Cameroons. When Eugene was presenting, he was presenting to tell our story to the world. Eugene may have, you know, come from AGC, but when he was presenting, he represented the aspirations, the hopes, and the dreams of the people of Southern Cameroons. I hope you know that. Results focused. Results driven. The people. He was representing the people. So it doesn't matter which organization is fighting for our cause. It is our cause. It doesn't matter which organization it's advocating for the freedom of the people of Southern Cameroons. Praise them, cheer them, honor them, respect them, because we have to be outcome-oriented, results-oriented. So let's celebrate AGC for the extraordinary work they did yesterday. For the first time in the history of the people of Amazonia, we were represented yesterday for the first time. We stood in front of the United Nations Human Rights Council and for the first time represented ourselves and tell our own story. That is worth celebrating. It's worth celebrating. I don't care where they came from. As long as it's for the interest of the people of Southern Cameroons, that's what I care about. Because I'm a results-driven leader. I don't care about tribalistic politics or organizational politics or which group or which that. I care about results. So we need to applaud the AGC. We need to applaud the people of the AGC for the work they did. However they did it, for us to have been in that place where we were able to tell our story for the first time. So stop this politics. Celebrate Eugene. Celebrate the people who have done this to have gotten us to that place. So let's celebrate it. This is what we want. Things that help us to move forward. Things that bring our story in front of the world. This is what we want. So whether it's the AGC that did it, or LCY that did it, or the interim government that did it, or it's you, or it's me, it's for the people of Amazonia. So let's celebrate it and get out of this crooked politics. This revolution is not a monopolistic thing. The victory is ours together. The last thing I want to talk about, self-defense, and why self-defense is our last hope to be a free people or to forever perish. Self-defense, our last hope to be a free people, or we shall forever perish. This is the last point on my presentation today. Three days ago, you guys watched that video. I was hot, wasn't I? I was very intense, wasn't I? I was actually angry at the things that are happening. Right? So some of you felt a lot more of that passion, like it was very strong, right? when you have so much energy, be careful. So the last item on my list today is self-defense. Our last hope to be a free people, or we will forever perish. Why self-defense? The UN is not listening. They have their own agenda. You guys know that, right? They've been corrupted. Francois Fall, the UN representative in Central Africa, that the UN rely upon to give them and tell them what exactly is happening, right? He's been bought out. You guys know when Antonio Guterres went to Yaoundé, made that 4-hour trip stop, he came out with a trophy, but he never made any official statement about his visit and what he discussed with the demonic president, the shithead president of La République du Cameroon. Right? Did he live with his own bag of money too? Right? When the lady from the Commonwealth, Patricia Scotland, being a minority, when we thought, she's going to Cameroon, but from the reports we knew, from reports now that have been coming out, we knew he didn't go to Cameroon. Paul Biya invited her to Cameroon because Biya has helped her to become Secretary General of the Commonwealth. So she didn't go there as a Secretary General of Commonwealth. She went there for a private trip. Biya has invited her to celebrate, her election into as the Secretary General of the Commonwealth. So that's why when she was speaking, there was water in her mouth. Right? So understand. So we're now left on our own. So what do we have to do? We've tried diplomacy. The world is not listening. CNN is not talking about us. BBC is not talking about us. Right? It's not what's on the front pages or headline news. So the story is not out because Biya, before he started all of this, he shut down internet connection, right? Internet communication, and then blocked foreign media from reporting about it. So they don't know what's really happening. So what do we have to do? We've tried a little bit of diplomacy. It didn't work. I think it's just because, not that diplomacy didn't work, but we didn't have effective PR campaign, or we didn't have effective diplomatic campaign. That's just all. Diplomacy can work if we're very effective in our strategies. Especially, we sucks at PR. Sorry to tell you guys this, but from a PR perspective, we don't know how to communicate our story. We don't know how to tell our story. We don't know how to tell what's happening. And we only go out there once in a while. Siseko was out there, but now, since Siseko was arrested January 5th, nothing is happening PR-wise. So, what have we left with? One choice. And Dr. Sako has agreed on this choice, that self-defense is the way forward. So in my last video, which, a lot of people were very upset because you just thought that I was, just accusing and wasn't being favorable to the interim government. But I'm a leader, I move people forward. I'm not about favoring people. If something is working, I celebrate it. If it's not working, we say, let's fix it. But to fix it, we have to know what's not working. Right? You cannot fix what you haven't acknowledged is not working. Like La République du Cameroon. The reason the country cannot change and heal is because they are not acknowledging openly what the problem is. Once we have to acknowledge where we are going wrong. And then we said, this is how we should move forward. Okay? So self-defense. Why self-defense is our last hope? Here is why. Because the occupier is bent on one single policy, which is to forever silence the people of Southern Cameroon by destroying, killing, and sending everyone out to become refugees, to destabilize the fabric of our society, to destabilize the core of who we are, and therefore forever never have to deal with the so-called Southern Cameroon's uprising again. So that forever they can succeed in solidifying. They can succeed in solidifying their national integration policies. They can succeed in quieting everyone, because once they lock all your leaders, kill a lot, exile some, send some to become refugees, the ones that are left will become chickens. Just like, you know, some of the leaders that we've seen recently they released them from prison. They don't talk about the problems anymore, right? And everybody's walking around, you know, holding their dicks. No one now has the moral courage to speak honestly, to speak as a leader about the truth of what's happening, right? So now, as a result, you have all these leaders now, they are walking with their hands in between their pants. So now the people have left on their own. So there is only one option we are left with, and that is self-defense. I'm not a violent person. I've gone through stages in my life since when I left Cameroon, right out of high school. So I understand what it means not to have freedom. I understand what it means to be an illegal immigrant. I understand what it means to be living under the table. I understand what it means to be on the street and don't know if you're going to be arrested because you're in someone's country and you don't have PAP. I understand what it means to be in a country and you can't walk because you don't have their PAP. I understand what it means to be sick and you cannot go to the hospital because you not only have the PAP, but you don't have the money for it. And maybe if you go to that hospital, they may actually arrest you. I understand what it means to enter a train and be so afraid that what if the police stop the train and ask everybody for their documentation and you don't have them. I understand what it means when you have a job and you go to a company, right? And you're using someone's papers to go work, and you're in a company and you're working and your legs are shaking. What if they stomp that company and they ask everyone for ID card and you're being picked up? I understand because I have lived through all of that. So I understand the essence of freedom more than what most of you can even think of. Because as a young man, I left and I have to chart my own path. So I understand this, and that's why I have so much passion about this. Because once you succeed and you taste freedom, and if you're a leader, you want other people to have that too. You develop that level of caring and compassion and love. And your goal now is, how do you take all your own experiences and you channel it so that you can help other people to be free? So that they don't have to spend their lives going through repetitive experiences. This is what we're fighting for. And so self-defense is our only option. So why self-defense? Number one, let me repeat what I said in my previous video. If you are on ground zero, if you're in the southwest and in the northwest province of Southern Cameroons, if you don't defend yourself, you will be killed. That's number one. If you do not defend yourself, you will be killed. So the first reason for self-defense is not actually to protect anyone else, but to defend yourself. Because if you don't, Pobia will kill you. So, you have a choice to make. You have a choice to make. To allow Pobia to kill you so that he can continue to be president, or you protect your own life by invoking your right for self-defense. This is one of the most painful conversations for someone like me to have. This is one of the most painful conversations for someone like me to talk to you about. Because I honor life so much. But here's what you need to know. All lives have equal value. Pay attention to this. all lives have equal value. So don't let someone make you believe your life is worth killing and their life is worth living. So you as a Southern Cameroonian, you owe yourself, whether you're a child, whether you're a woman, whether you're a man, whether you're a boy, you owe yourself the privilege for your own life. So that's why self-defense, it's your last hope. The government has declared war upon you. The government has declared war upon your family. The government has declared war upon your people. The government has declared war upon your community. So self-defense, you're not taking up arms because you want war. You're taking up arms first to protect your own life, to save your own life. Because if you don't, just like what they are doing in Kendem, just like what they are doing in all the 13 counties, you must defend yourself. You must activate the block by block strategy. You must defend yourself. Use any means necessary, whatever you can, to defend yourself against La République terrorists, to defend yourself against Bia's military, to defend yourself against the war that Paul Biya has declared upon you, an armless civilian. You must defend yourself in order for you to save your own life. Your life is worth living. Defend it. 2, you need to defend yourself to defend your family. If you have children, defend them. Defend your girls. Defend your children. Don't let someone tell you that the military has the right to come into your home, come into your village, come into your town and kill you. They don't. Defend yourself. You don't defend yourself, they will kill you, rape your children, rape your grandmother and burn your house. Number 1, defend your own life. Number 2, defend your family's life. Defend your family. Number 3, defend your community so that your grandmother is not burnt alive. So that the home you and your family have struggled and built, it's not burnt alive, it's not burned down. So that your farm is not burned down. So that your store is not burned down. So that's why self-defense, it's our last hope to save our lives, the lives of our families. If the people of Kendem have been inspired, all the people of Kendem have been inspired, they would have taken down completely the few terrorists that have been sent into Kendem. So that's why today, as someone who values life, who value every life, and I believe the military, Paul Biya military do not have the right to go into villages and kill children, kill pregnant women, and burn grandmothers alive. I don't believe that. So that's why I'm telling the people of Southern Cameroon today to defend themselves, defend their children, and protect their grandmothers from La République terrorists. It's illegal for them to come into your village and kill you. So kill them and defend yourself. Defend yourself. You must invoke your universal right. I'm not preaching terrorism. I'm preaching leadership, that every life matters. And Paul Biya does not have the right to give death certificate to his military to go out there and kill the people of Southern Cameroon. So I'm telling the people of Southern Cameroon to defend themselves from terrorism. Defend yourselves. Defend yourself. Every village, defend yourselves. Let every village, every town, every city rise up. Southern Cameroonians, rise up. Rise up. This is the only chance we have to save our lives, to protect our humanity. If not, we will be killed, because right now the United Nations is silent. African Union is silent. European Union is silent. Everybody is silent. United States is silent. Canada is silent. So I'm telling the people of Southern Cameroon to defend themselves against the silence. They must defend themselves. We should not wait for United Nations. By the time they come, your village is burned down like Kwakwa, just like the burned down grandma appear alive. We must stop this carnage. So stand up, everybody. Stand up. It's our only choice. It's the only hope we have. Nothing else. The people of Southern Cameroon, every village, every town, every neighborhood, stand up and defend yourself with whatever means necessary against terrorism. Against people that are coming into your village to burn your grandmothers alive, to burn your homes, to burn your businesses. Stand up. Don't wait for the world. By the time you wait for the world to come and rescue you, everybody is gone. This is their politics. It's all self-interest. Stand up. Defend yourself. Before you wait for someone to come and defend you, defend yourself. Defend yourself. Number one, you defend yourself to save your own life. Number two, you defend yourself to protect your family. Number three, you defend yourself to protect your properties, your grandmothers. Number four, you are defending yourself in order to defend the restoration of independence that has been proclaimed collectively. So you defend yourself in order to defend the restoration of independence that has been proclaimed. That is the fourth reason why self-defense is the last hope. You defending the restoration of independence that on the 1st of October was handed to you so that you can be a free human being. So that your dignity can be restored. So that you can have a nation. And someday, you can be able to walk freely. You can be able to go to your farm freely. Your kids can be able to go to good schools and be safe. So that you can be able to go to bed at night, knowing that under rain, sun, or whatever, you sleep in peace. And not worry about the military coming to set your house on fire when you're sleeping. And not worry about the military coming to shoot you on your own bed. Or coming in and raping your children. Like what we heard the other day. That they arrested a couple of people, both men and women. They stripped all the women naked, asked them to open their legs, strip all the men naked, and tie their hands on the back, and asked them to be looking at the women's leg. This happened in Southern Cameroon. This is all the work of La République military. The kind of humiliation they subjected our men to in order to demasculate them. So rise up. Why would you allow yourself to go through such subjection? What is our masculinity? Stand up. Stand up. We must rise up. Defend ourselves, defend our families, defend our communities, defend the restoration of independence. It's your independence, remember? It's your independence. It's not the independence of the people of the United States. It's not the independence of the European Union. It's not the independence of the United States of the United Nations. It's not the independence of African Union. It's not the independence of Nigeria. It's the independence of you. It's your independence. So stand up and protect it. Stand up and defend it. It's our last hope. Our last hope. There should be no more burning of villages. If our people are inspired enough by leadership to rise up and stand up and give them what it takes to defend themselves. This is my last point. It is the responsibility of this interim government. I will say it again. You guys may not like it. You need to wake up to reality. It is the responsibility of this interim government that declared the restoration of independence to protect that restoration of independence. The interim government declared the restoration of independence. The interim government must protect that restoration of independence by funding the organized, recognized groups and then scale their activities so that they are in all 13 counties and can be able to protect the people, protect their properties, protect the restoration of independence. Our people in Nigeria are suffering. Those on the ground are suffering. Every day, homes are being burned. People are being killed. Let's mobilize. Let's challenge our leaders for meaningful collaboration. That the interim government, that is the number one receiver of contributions, should fund all these groups. Fund these groups to get the job done meaningfully. Fund them. Provide our people with what they need to defend all the 13 counties. Is this meaningful? Is this useful? Self-defense is our last hope. If not, we are going to perish as a people. Just like the carnage. Go to Akwaya. Go to the 13 villages of some of the biggest villages in Manyung. Go to Kembong. Go now to Kendem. Go to Lebialem. Go to Indian, the Kwakwa, go to Meme and Indian. What's happening? Where are the people? All escape. They are all living in bushes. You see? So let's have this conversation. We must have a sense of urgency. We must have a sense of urgency, my people. We must do these things now. We must do these things now. So we must have a sense of urgency to make self-defense not only a verbal dialogue, but a practical action that we've seen the results on the ground. As the donations are coming in, we should be seeing more results on the ground. All 13 counties need to be hard. All of them. All 13 counties. They need to be boiling. So that the occupation, the occupier, all the SDOs, all the DOs should be living. Because there is no place for them to stay. Because if we scale the ground action in all 13 counties, are you seeing what is can you realize how fast the world will start calling for a negotiation? They will start calling for an end to this. Right now, everything is one-sided. La Republic is going in and doing all these things, and no one is putting an end to it. We, the people of Southern Cameroon, this is our lives. We either stand up now as a people, defend ourselves, or we are perished. Or we will never have the homeland. We can do this. We can do this. We have the brain power. We have the intelligence. We have the capacity. We have the human ingenuity. We have the resourcefulness. We have the bravery and the courage to do this. We can do this. We can do this. We can do this. It's our last hope. It's a matter between life or death. It's our last hope. Self-defense. So what does this mean to you? Fund the Nchangshu boys. Fund them. Fund the Nchangshu boys. They're doing an extraordinary job out there. Fund my trip to Buea. Fund it. Fund them. Fund all self-defense groups. Do not only fund the IG. Fund the IG, fund the self-defense groups. Fund them. They need the money. You've given them work to do. You've declared restoration of independence. Now they want to do the work. Let's fund them. So let's get out of this politics that, no, we are results oriented. The people want to do the work. It's you and I now have to fund it. We have to fund it. Fund the Nchangshu boys. Fund the Nchangshu boys. Make your contribution to my trip to Buea. Do it. Both. We have to do both. We can do both. We just have to get out of this mindset that it's this organization versus this. No. This is our freedom. We want to stop the killings. We want to stop the burning of homes. We want to stop the displacement, the displacement of our people. We want to stop the burning of properties and the raping of our girls by La République terrorists. So let's fund the ground actions so that all 13 counties are protected. So that the SDOs, the DOs, will have no hiding place. This is my message. Self-defense. Self-defense is our only option. Yes, it's our last hope. Either we do self-defense or we allow ourselves, or we take ourselves to the slaughterhouse and be slaughtered. And to do that, then we should not blame La République du Cameroon. They have their own agenda. We must protect and save our own lives. Save the lives of our family, our communities, protect our properties, and honor the restoration of independence. We must. I hope this has touched you. I hope this is making sense. If we don't do it, you will not have a village to go to. If you do not support self-defense and fund the people on the ground so that every village is protected, every town is protected, every city is protected, we will not have a homeland to go to. So self-defense is our only hope. It's our last hope. And let's stop this carnage. Why would a military go into a village of about 4,000 people like Kendem and carry out massacre, and then our people just run to the bushes? The kind of leadership we need, it's leadership to inspire our people that self-defense is the only way they have to save their own lives. Not self-defense for anyone. They have to save their own lives. Running into the bush is not saving your life. Because the chance of moving to the bushes and kill them. How long are we going to continuously running? We're in a revolution. Give our people what they need. This interim government must give the people of Southern Cameroon what they need. Give the boys that are on the ground what they need to get the job done. Give them what they need. Build the capacity of what they need. So fund Changshu boys. Fund them. Fund Sokadef. Fund the Tigers. Fund them. Fund them. Fund all the self-defense groups. This thing that you should not fund the self-defense group has become a taboo subject that people don't even have the guts to understand that we are purpose-driven people. Our purpose is the freedom of our homeland. And it cannot be done by the interim government alone. It can be done by me. It can be done by you. It can be done by the interim government. It can be done by the ADF, by Sokadef, by the Tigers. It's a collective responsibility. So we must fund these groups for them to get the job done. And collaboration, strategic collaboration. We must create that collaboration, demand that collaboration. And as I've said, the role of Mr. Sako, if he's listening or his people are listening, his job now, sell the vision, sell the purpose, and then communicate and articulate that vision and that purpose as to how it relates to the people's freedom and what they want out of life. Number 4, step out. Start to engage the Southern Cameroonians community, both in North America and in Europe. Those places are very safe. Meet them face to face. The donors that are giving the big money, they are not on Facebook. They need to see you face to face. Meet them. They need to trust you. The people that are going to donate, the 5, the 10, the 20, the 30, the 40, the 100,000. They're not going to do that on Facebook. I'm sorry, Mr. President. You have to go out, meet these people. You can build that relationship, build that trust, and tell them what your vision, your mission, your purpose, and your action plan is. Get out and go do the work. Stop hiding. behind cameras. Let's get out. Meet the people. Sell the message. Sell the purpose. Sell the vision. And build the trust with the people that are going to give the big donations. Not about, you know, doing all these things. I know we can raise money online. I know this game very well. Online lifespan is very short. If things are not happening as fast as possible, this thing, my trip to Buea, the money is going to start going down. So we need to move on and engage the people in our communities. The Southern Cameroons community in France, the Southern community in England, Southern community in Germany, Southern Cameroons community in Australia, Southern Cameroon community in China. Take a trip. Go visit your people in town hall. Do a speech. Build a relationship. Tell them your vision. Tell them your purpose. Tell them why this matters and why this is our last hope. Hire me to go do the job. I can do it. Hire me. First of all, I do this naturally. I can do it. Don't pay me anything. Send me to go do the job. Send us to go do the job. Let's do this. We can do this, Ambazonians. We need a sense of urgency. We need a sense of urgency. We're doing things so slow, as if we are snails. Wake up! When the world is moving so fast, we need to get this thing done. There's 100,000 people just starving in Nigeria. Houses are being burned down every day. We're taking our time, moving so sluggishly. Come on! Speed up! Let's get this thing done. We should not let an 86-year-old man beat a generation of you and I. That's a disgrace. Can you imagine? An 86-year-old man is beating you into a 21st century game? Wow! Come on! Wake up, my people. Wake up! Wake up. Let's get it done. So as I've said, self-defense is our last hope. We must stop the killing, stop the raping, stop the burning of our grandmothers alive. We must stop these terrorists. Make Southern Cameroons ungovernable in all 13 counties. Self-defense is a right. And that right is to save your own life. That's the only reason you're carrying out self-defense primarily. Yes, self-defense. All right? So, I'm encouraging you to donate to my trip to Buea. I encourage you to fund the Nchangshu boys. Fund the Nchangshu boys. Fund them. They're doing an extraordinary job. Fund Sokadef. Fund them. Absolutely extraordinary. So, I hope this message has given you such clarity, such hope, such inspiration. I hope I've been able to serve you today. I hope with all my craziness, with all my crazy energy, with all my passion, I hope that I've poured my heart out for you selflessly. It's who I am, to serve. Let's do this. We can do this, Ambazonians. Don't forget. Don't forget who you are. If we don't do this now, we will never have a homeland. If we don't do this now, you will never be able to go to your village. You won't. So let's save our people, free our homeland. Donate to the Nchangshu boys. Donate to my trip to Buea. Donate to Ambazonian Tigers. If you have any question, I'm ready to take some questions, please. M. Clarice, we should also start doing these live videos too in our native languages. Look, Mark Clarice, I want Salodio. What an I've said you watch this video. I really thank you for saying you don't join me. Mark Clarice, I agree. I speak Boki, so I can only do this in Boki. Okay? So that's all I can do. I can talk to our people in Boki. So sometimes, as you know that in between my videos, I usually add a little bit of Boki when I realize that a brother or sister is watching. So that's great. So Mark Clarice, please, whatever language you speak, I'll suggest you take what I've said here today, watch this video again, take notes, take down the points, please communicate this message to your family. Communicate this message translate this message into your dialect. Translate this message into your native language. Please. Translate this message. Take this message and translate it and communicate it to your family in your own native language. Send it, translate this message, take the main points, call Big Mommy, call Big Papa, call your uncles back home and tell them. The most. Okay? So I hope that question was clear. Hey, Peter Ayer, thank you very much. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you. The Clan Lola, appreciate you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay? Redemption Song, I speak Asumbro. Nice to meet you. Brother, keep up the work. Asu, thank you very much. I appreciate you guys. You guys are so kind with very kind compliments. You can invite people to live video in their native dialects. That's true. So, Malaika, Lovelyn, Miss Eboa, that's true. We can also do that. You know what? That's actually a great idea, which means that maybe in my next video, can you guys do me a favor? Just comment on what language, what native language you speak. Please, comment on what native language you speak so that in the next video, we can set up that we bring in people that could speak 3 or 4 native language and they can communicate to people directly back home. That's a great idea. Malaika, thank you very much. That's a very great idea. You just came up with an extraordinary idea. I'm going to take that down. Malaika Lovelyn Eboa, thank you so much. That's an extraordinary idea. We're going to take this idea and we're going to implement it on our next video. Okay? So guys, go ahead and just comment what language or native dialect you speak so that I'll go back to this video. I'll try to follow everything, take notes, contact you, send you a message, and then we set up what you should talk about on our next video. I love this. Thank you, Pepe. Well, look, Peter Ayer, I don't know whether SCBC is getting this. I hope our friend, the review, is getting this, right? So they can contact me. They can take this and stream it on SCBC. I've given them the license. Everlasting Pepe, you said you speak Ejagam? Okay, that's good. From Tinta, I speak Asombo. Great. There we go, two languages already. Why always releasing those arrested by our self-defense forces, La Republic? Ayogeta, I have no idea, bro. I just have no idea. I have no idea. Can you please direct this question to the people of... we don't even know which group arrested them, and we don't know which group has released them. So I have no clue. I wish I had an answer for you. I'm also disappointed, bro. Sam Jokam, you said you speak Mogamo language? Okay, thank you. All right, there's someone else, Sam Jokam, there's someone else called Niglan Ndum, who also said they speak Mogamo. Wow. All right, guys, I hope that this has been very exciting. I hope this has been very extraordinary. I hope you guys know this platform is for us to develop our leadership capacities, for us to educate ourselves. It's for constant inspiration. It's for constant encouragement. It's for constant support. And for constantly build the momentum to move ourselves forward in unity and in purpose. This is what this is about. Right? This is about the Ambazonian dream. So I want to thank you for your patience. I want to thank you for playing full out with me. I want to thank you for your love for our people. So send me a message, write a comment, share this video to a group, to a platform, share it to your interim government, share it to all the leaders. This is who we are. We have one destiny, we have one hope, we have one purpose. Let's commit ourselves that this 2018, as Siseko has said, is the year of homecoming. This is April, guys. Let's commit ourselves that we are committed to free ourselves. We are committed to the liberation of Ambazonia. We are committed to defend ourselves, our families, our grandmothers, our properties, and the restoration of independence. This is our commitment. Our commitment to have a free homeland. Our commitment to have a nation that is international, that is recognized, that has a seat at the United Nations as an Ambazonia. Our commitment. This is our commitment. So let's commit. Please, before you go, make sure you phone the Nchangshu boys. At the title of this video, I am going to put their web address and you can make a direct donation. You guys already know where to donate. mytriptoboya.org. So you already know that. I'm also going to put the address mytriptoboya.org, and I'm also going to put the nchangshuboys.org, their web address. Okay? So if you have any suggestion, please send it to me. I will also put my WhatsApp number on the title of this video, so that if someone is on ground zero and they have an inspiring story to tell, I'm ready to broadcast that story. Okay? But don't call me for any other reason other than you calling me. Don't call me because you want to argue with what I said. Don't send me a message because you disagree with what I said. I do not have time for this bullshit. If you have something to contribute, I'm willing to listen to you. But if you're sending me a message to tell me about who's doing what, who's not doing what, that's none of my problem. I'm out that we as leaders move this revolution forward. So if you send me a message, send me a positive, constructive message, please. If you're calling me on WhatsApp, send me, when you call, I will verify who you are. You'll tell me what you want to talk about. I don't just pick up calls. I have a very busy life and busy work life. So I also dedicate time to do this as my own ongoing contribution for our struggle. There's a lot of things we need to be doing. So I look forward to talking to you. But for now, I would just want to tell you that I love you guys so much. Right? I believe in you. I believe in what we're doing. I believe in where we're going. I know that we will succeed. So let's stay committed. Let's stay inspired. Let's stay purposeful. Right? Let's get out of, the little petty things that do not matter. Let's get out of this division. Preach unity. Right? Preach love. Please, let me just say something before we go. If you live somewhere that is safe, and you know a family has been displaced, please, as an Ambazonia, no matter how small your home is, find space for that family that is now displaced. Please. Please. An Ambazonia should not be homeless when other Ambazonians have, even if it's one bedroom. We are going through a very tough time. So this is the time in which we use our virtues of kindness, of compassion, of love, of unity, of purpose, to care, to support, to comfort, to protect one another. Okay? So I send my love out to all of you. And may God bless you. God bless the people of Ambazonia. And I talk to you guys soon. Have a great day.